Peggy 18.
Humans and elves of Sauron, a great evil has descended upon us. I believe we are facing a threat to our entire world.
Hey, everybody! Welcome to the bloody Scream Podcast. All right, fuck it. That's gonna take forever. We're gonna turn like a 15-minute review into like 2 hours of us just doing the Jimmy thing all the time. If you can't figure out what we're talking about, we're reviewing South Park: The Stick of Truth. You know, dun, 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 dun. I don't know why I'm doing the Game of Thrones thing, but
because it's the most epic medieval stuff.
Yeah, and plus it's kind of the first thing is based off of Game of Thrones. The first basically what I'm trying to tell Nick is like the first half, which is actually the TV show, leads into this video game. So you actually go watch the Black Friday thing because it kind of leads into it. It actually shows them pick up the stick and say, well, we could just play with this. We could just... And he holds it up and they're like, South Park video game coming out soon. I'm like, oh, ha, ha, ha. But anyways, South Park video game. You play as... Well, you play
the
as...
new kid.
You're the new kid. You create your own South Park character. You can make it look like you, or you can make it look like some monstrosity. If you watch our Let's Play,
he looked funny.
Yeah, he looked funny. We had, I think, what do you have? Red hair?
Yeah, ginger afro.
Ginger afro, and then, of course, we made him a Jew. Which is one of the classes you can pick, but we're stepping a little ahead right there. But you don't get to name your character. You are known as Douchebag. Your character just not, you don't even bother typing in a name because you were just going to be called Douchebag the entire game. Which honestly...
Name yourself Douchebag.
It never gets old.
It doesn't.
It really doesn't. I thought I was going to be tired of it. Everyone addressed me as Douchebag. Like, But honestly, it just kind of turns even more funny with the titles they give you, like, Sir Douchebag and
Commander Douchebag.
I kind of just... Also, I have to really nail this one in. If you don't like fucking South Park, don't even touch this game. Do not even come near this game. Because if you don't like the stupid comedy of South Park, you're going to hate the shit out of this. Because that's what this is. And honestly...
If you don't like South Park, I don't see why you'd pick up a South Park game to
play
with.
True, very true. Well, gameplay mechanics are actually really fun. But, I also have to say, I don't watch as much... how many episodes of South Park do you see, Nick?
I don't know.
Do you watch a lot of it? Let me put it up.
I mean, if it's on, I'll watch it, maybe. I like the episodes that parody something.
Something. I like the episodes too. I honestly, when I watch South Park, I watch the episodes everyone talks about. Like the Black Friday one, the World of Warcraft, the Guitar Hero. I watch the ones that get mentioned in conversation. I don't watch just the random fucking ones. So a lot of this I didn't understand at all. I'm gonna be honest. A lot of the in-series jokes they were throwing, like
the Underpants Gnomes?
Yeah, Underpants Gnomes. I didn't understand what the fuck that was about. I was like, alright, Underpants Gnomes.
They're gnomes and they steal your underpants.
Yeah, well, within the game I could tell what the hell they do.
That is what they do. That's
I didn't get all Twitter pated when I saw them, or Mr. Hanky. Actually, I found him rather annoying.
What, not even Mrs. Hanky?
And Mrs. Hanky kind of was better than Mr. Hanky, I'm not gonna lie. And I could understand why she'd drink if it was Christmas year round. I'd drink too. Anyways, yeah, it's a lot of, basically, if it was the only South Park character that was not introduced in this show, or in this game, was Towley. That's the only one I didn't see.
I'm sure he's got to be in there somewhere.
I don't know. You get to explore the entire city of South Park,
and then some.
It's honestly not that big, but yeah.
Because I got lost in the forest.
Oh yeah. Well, there's a pattern to it, as I realized.
It's up and down.
Yeah.
But I got lost because I didn't know that at first. I found the woodland creatures.
Really?
Yeah. Or the woodland critters or whatever.
Woodland critters? Oh, so did they rape you?
Nope. I renounced the Dark Lord Satan as my savior, and they became friends with me on Facebook.
Okay. Alright. But yeah, besides us just jumping around, just like talk about the area of South Park. Basically what this is you're the new kid, and, Cartman basically seeks you out, in a sense of the matter. And he wants you to join his forces to protect the Stick of Truth from the elves, which are, led by Kyle and Stan and them. And the game is all this made up, very, very in-depth version of a role-play, like LARPing, essentially. These kids are, they're taking D&D stuff where you're like, oh, you have a cooldown timer for this, you can only use potions whenever on your turn, type mentality. But they're using it with LARPing where they're literally attacking each other.
In the streets.
Yeah, in the streets. And they are literally hitting each other. Like, not even just like, oh, I hit you with my wooden... No, they're hitting each other in the face with their wooden swords and stuff. And eventually you get actual weapons, but that doesn't really seem to matter. And I'm honestly only going to tell you the beginning part of the story because holy shit does it just take the traditional South Park route of just saying, oh, let's take this small little premise... and we're gonna shake it up like a box full of cats. We're gonna dump that in there. And then we're gonna take this crazy homeless person, put him on meth. We're gonna put him on meth, and we're gonna slap him in the face a few times, throw him in there with the box of cats, and we're gonna see what happens.
Yes, this game is literally, it felt like a South Park special.
It really was. It was one of those South Park specials, except for the fact that your character does not speak, which they make fun of that the entire game. This is the one time I was happy to have a silent protagonist there, Nick. Cause normally, I am like them. I get fucking pissed. They actually make that one of my favorite jokes is, what is your name? Your name.
Don't be shy. You can do it.
And it's the funniest damn thing. Just every time they're just like, or your parents constantly making fun of you because love you too, Dad. Your dad just being a dick to you the whole time. It is the funniest. This is probably one of the funniest games, if not going to be the funniest game to come out in 2014.
Yes, this is right up there with Deadpool.
Yes, this is up there with Deadpool. Where, except for this one has one up on Deadpool there, Nick. I actually really dug the gameplay of this. Like this game it was addicting to me. Like Nick. Because once I picked it up, I tried to go back to playing like Castlevania and all the other games, and I kept thinking about it. I was like, you know what? I had so much fun playing South Park. I'm just going to continue. And I didn't put it down until it was beat. And I beat the shit out of it. And I have to say, alright, so, gameplay. It's a turn-based strategy game,
If you ever played Paper Mario on the GameCube, it's that.
Yeah, honestly, I've heard that a couple of times now, and I'm like, oh, I've never played that shit. Basically, if you ever played a turn-based strategy game, you kind of know what's going on. Your turn, my turn. You get these special abilities. I will have to say, though, Nick, towards the end of the game, I was pretty overpowered.
I was, too.
The
final boss was a cakewalk.
Final boss was a cakewalk, but it was still just kind of like, if I wasn't overpowered, it would be the biggest pain in the ass. So it really is kind of one of those, they didn't find a nice middle ground because the beginning has a nice, wonderful challenge. And it has something that, I don't know if Paper Mario did this at all or whatnot, but it has a lot of timing stuff. Like,
Paper Mario did that.
Oh, did it? Okay. So yeah, for people who haven't played Paper Mario like myself, that's timing. So like, okay, I'm gonna go attack this kid. I have to press X and or A, right when my weapon flashes or it doesn't do shit for damage. So you gotta press that. And the same thing goes for the blocking. Like, I need a, when this guy attacks me, I gotta press A each time when this little shield appears underneath my feet. And then, of course, you get special abilities, you get power-ups, you get all that fun stuff.
Which, in all honesty, your special abilities are okay, but your partners, they're really only good for their special abilities because their attacks don't do shit.
Yeah, for the most part. I honestly, with the partners, I found really my favorite personally was Kyle.
Me too.
Because Kyle was really fucking useful, especially with his major special ability.
Oh, yeah.
I'd use that. I'd give him a little drink power potion, and then I'd use it again.
And his attack up.
Oh, his attack up, yeah. And honestly, let's go with we'll talk about classes you can pick. You can pick fighter, mage, thief, and Jew. I picked fighter.
As did I.
Okay, so we both picked fighter. Fighter, I've found, honestly, as Nick, you've mentioned this, and I think on the Bloody Time, and I'll reiterate it. Honestly, it doesn't matter who the hell you pick can pick any weapon you want, really. I think the Jew's, he actually gets the Jew staff that you cannot get as any other class.
The only, your starting weapons, or actually, the weapons you get, and which, I mean, they're all going to do the same thing anyway.
Yeah, they're just smacking somebody in the face with them. It's not like that.
The weapons and the abilities are the only thing different.
Yeah, the abilities are the main thing that are different. And I have to say, I kind of dug the fighter's main ability, like his super stomp attack. That was really useful, honestly.
That and the Rhino.
And the Rhino.
The bull charge.
The bull charge was useful until you get later on in the game.
They all had use depending on the enemy. The
true.
Rochambeau was pretty handy.
Oh, I never used that.
Once you level it up, it stuns them and you can keep going.
Oh yeah, but I have to say though, it is kind of compelling to go back through the game as a different class just to see how it plays. The problem is, honestly, I don't know if this is going to be one of those games though that has that one shot. Like, it was funny the first time you played it, but then you go back and play it and you're just like,
that's why you wait a little bit.
Yeah, this can be kind of like the Deadpool thing, where you don't want to pick it up immediately after. It does not have that super replay value. It does have a lot to do in it. I will give it that. It has a lot to do. It has a lot of little side missions. Most of the side missions are pretty, just go over here, grab this.
Most of the side missions are just to, tie into the show. Little jokes from the show.
Oh yeah, little jokes. And honestly, it just becomes like this whole thing where, just getting friends on Facebook and stuff. And that's all you get when you win. And the more friends you have, the more you level up, more powerful you are, kind of mentality. Oh, I also have to say, Nick, this has one of my favorite mechanics in any video. The farting. Just being able to fart on command. I don't ask why, I understand Fable. We reviewed that earlier this year. Fable had a fart on any time you want thing. But this one was just, I don't know, it was just better because people actually comment on it more often.
Ew.
Or or even occasionally you'd hear Cartman in his mysterious laugh in the background. And also, they take the farting one step further of making that your superpower in a copyright infringement type thing called a dragon shout.
Because that's the copyright infringement.
Yeah, being that they actually named it and it's actually shout.
Yeah, I was talking about the ending.
Oh, the ending. I don't remember the ending. That steals. Anyways, we'll get into that a little bit later. Yeah, but I have to say I dug that a lot. Honestly, I never used the farts in battle. I never thought that was that useful.
Some of them are, because they do gross out, and if you have an enemy on fire, they're really damaged by farts.
Oh, really? Oh,
yeah.
Well.
And the Nagasaki will blow some enemies away. Which is the last fart you get, the most powerful of all farts.
Yes. The game, okay, in case you can't understand, the game is very juvenile, but it's South Park juvenile. It's fart and poop jokes. It's
literally throw your poop at the enemy joke.
Yeah, literally, and
sometimes other people's poop.
And sometimes it goes even further in the poop genre that we won't get into because it's towards the end, but god damn, that shit's nasty.
And actually, I found out in this game, if you drink a mana potion, mm-hmm. and it overfills, you will shit your pants in battle.
Oh, I had an enemy actually make myself shit my pants. It filled my mana so high that it just, I pooped myself. I'm like, okay, that happens. Yes. I honestly, we could have made this like a 2-minute review there, Nick, saying, 1 sentence review. Do you like South Park? If no, then you shouldn't play this. And that's honestly it. The gameplay is fun, and it really dug it. I can actually see a lot of people not liking the gameplay, being that it is a turn-based thing, and a lot of people
I think that's what made it cool. It felt like a fantasy game.
Well, it felt like children would be doing this, not just them running at each other going, ah! I mean, granted, they do that too.
They even make fun of that, though. You're like, no, you have to wait your turn. That's fucking bullshit.
I know. Exactly. They make fun of it. They make fun of basically everything in this. Anything else you want to add?
Nah.
No?
I think we covered all of it.
Yeah, I can't think of anything else. So, final thoughts, if any?
I would say this game's worth buying.
It's worth buying. That's pretty high praise. So you're saying, alright, well, what's your rating for it then?
I'd give it a 4.
4 out of 5. Nick is giving this game high praise. Now, me, I like to, I wouldn't throw out the buy on this one, in my opinion. Because like I said, the replay value, I don't see it. And honestly, if you want to buy, we're all on a budget here. No one's rich here. Well, if you're rich, you should probably donate money to us if you listen to us. But most likely you're not rich like us. So, a $60 purchase, it's quite an
Yeah,
investment.
so a game like this, it's going to drop in price pretty quickly.
Yes, I would say wait. This would be a bargain bin for me. This would be something that, I wouldn't say buy it new, I'd bargain bin this. I'd wait for it to be like at least $20. I'd say $20 for about, I want to say about an 8-hour story. It really doesn't take me long it didn't take me long to fly through this. Even doing the side missions, I
guarantee I did a lot more than you did.
You did a little bit more than I did. I did quite a bit, sir. Because towards the middle of the game, I just started talking to everybody and just doing that shit. And honestly, each side mission took me like 2 minutes to do anyway, so.
Did you find Mr. Hankey's family?
Yes, I did find his family. The only one I didn't do was the Al Gore one, and apparently I didn't find the little critters.
That's not really, like I said, I just happened to find them because I got lost.
Yeah, basically. I would wait for it to go down in price, but I'm still gonna give it the same rate as Nick here. I'd still say it's a 4 out of 5. It's not a perfect game. I think they could have made, like, the difficulty, I thought towards the end, it's beyond a cakewalk. I'd beat enemies within 2 moves.
Especially with Kyle.
Yeah, that was just my dream team. Me and Kyle were like, let's kick some ass, and he'd be like, yeah, let's do this, douchebag, and I'm like, yeah, fucker. And it does have that whole little thing at the end of the game if you want to continue to play afterwards. I respect that, just in case you want to continue doing the side missions and shit. But besides that, yeah. It's not a perfect game. It could, I have to say though, for Obsidian, because Obsidian has kind of made some shit games, Alpha Protocol,
New Vegas.
New Vegas. They're not the best. I know, I called New Vegas a shit game when yet we're doing playthrough of it. Fuck that game. Yeah. And they're not the highest in my opinion, but maybe they had Ubisoft riding their ass saying, you do not fuck this up. And also, as you know,
it's written by
them.
Yeah,
it was written by the South Park guys, and I even say animated by them, because playing the game really looked like a South Park episode. Like, just playing the fucking game, and you're like, oh.
Yeah, the game and the cutscenes were just bam.
Yeah. I mean, granted, it wouldn't take a hell of a lot to do it, because honestly, it's just papier-mâché shit. They're not really animating too much,
well,
so.
They haven't done papier-mâché since, the first episode.
Yeah, regardless. Anyways, that is it. Agree with us, disagree with us. Check it out if you'd like. But let us know what you think. Nick really likes to know. So address anything you have towards him.
And you will not see it.
Anyways, that is it, everybody. Don't forget to like us on Facebook. Don't forget to visit our website at bloodscreenpod.com and subscribe to us on YouTube. I would love to hear from you guys about this game. Just let us know what you think. That is it, everybody. Good night.